Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, it is about 11:30, and I'm once again 10 hours into another fast. And I don't even have to think about fasting anymore. I naturally just go 17 hours before I even think about the concept of eating. And then usually I push it out a little bit more, right? And I know why I've been fasting so much and so easily during my vacation. And this is something that this is a concept that I hope to bring home and make some changes to when I get home. Now, this isn't particular to this one vacation. I've noticed this at other vacations and even during the pandemic. See, I'm at liberty to eat whenever I want out here, right? I can't really eat in the classroom. Sometimes students come to my office. We got meetings at work. Wouldn't that make fasting easier if you couldn't eat? Not really, because you have to remember that you might have a block of time later today where you know you can't eat, and you're kind of forced into making a decision, right? Do I eat now or do I have to wait maybe 6 hours before I can get to my food? And it really pigeonholes what could be good fasts. And I think it really stifles our health goals, not only fasting, but you can imagine other goals where like for example the no fap, right? If you're going into a situation where you know you can't fap for 8 hours, it's hard to tell yourself that I'm just going to fap an hour, 2 hours from now. I'll stick it out for now, right? And so some workplaces now have rooms specifically for fapping. I actually think that's a good idea. That actually might make me fap less. Actually, I know it's a paradox, but um, if I were allowed to eat inside the classroom, I guarantee overall, yeah, I would probably eat there from time to time, but overall, I probably have a healthier relationship with my food. That's why I teach a computer science class. We teach in a computer lab, and unless the students are making a huge scene, I generally don't enforce that they don't eat in there because I almost see it as a human right. And I've gotten in trouble for not enforcing it, but that's another story for another time. Um, Next time I'll probably make this argument. Next time my boss yells at me for not enforcing students not eat there, I'll probably tell him what I'm telling you guys right now. But I want it to be more popular to eat whenever and wherever you want, provided you don't make a mess of it, and provided it's reasonably safe, right? Obviously, you don't want to be eating when you're making chemical element 119 in a nuclear reactor. You don't want to be eating when you're working with COVID virus particles in order to develop the next vaccine. Sure, stay away from food there, right? Or if you have a colleague with food allergies, be mindful of that, right? And notice I said be mindful, not necessarily not eat it there, but I notice how a lot of people get their food everywhere, right? It's not even just food that people are allergic to. It's a mess, right? And so I want it to be a human right, or at least a workplace right, to be allowed to eat whenever and wherever you want. Just like there are limits to. We all saw what happened when Amazon didn't give their employees enough bathroom breaks. I think this is on par with that. Yeah, it might not directly kill you instantly, but it could definitely not being allowed to eat whenever you want and being pigeonholed into certain eating schedules, that could shave years off your life probably, right? It probably won't make your bladder explode, but just because it's slower doesn't mean it's less important, right? All right, I thought I would point that out. I should have documented my fast a little bit more so I can make the case a little bit better. But I was teaching at a tutoring center. This was 2 3 years ago, and the students technically were not supposed to eat at their desks. And I would tell the students to just keep it neat, please don't dust your hands. And occasionally, most students actually were very understanding of that, right? Occasionally, I told the students, even if what they were eating was completely hypoallergenic, to not do that even because it's a mess and it's best to get in the habit of not getting your food because you don't know who's going to be allergic to what, right? It's best to get in the habit of not doing that, right? And so And then they would do that, and I would get upset at them. And then my boss would come in and say, "Why are you even allowing them to eat in here?" And I would give this argument oftentimes. My boss was 73 years old, and he didn't want to have anything to do with it. He grew up in a culture where people prayed before they ate, and they listened to their elders, and so it's just different cultural clash, right? I probably have a better time if my boss were a little bit younger. I think this argument might work a lot better, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.